Hi, you're watching this because you missed the first introductory day to Adobe Illustrator. And the beauty of Adobe Illustrator is that it has Illustrate or illustrating and Illustrator, which is a job or career path in the name. And that means we're going to be building images using tools in this app. So the first thing I need you to do is sign in. And if you have questions about that, I'll help you in class. But you always sign in with Google. And then when you see that you've come to this page, you're not going to have all this stuff in here because you haven't been working in Adobe Illustrator yet. What you're going to do is, first things first, you're going to click on New File right here up on the upper left. And we're going to do this the same exact way every time we start working in Illustrator for the first few weeks. um, so you only have to remember to hit print because that's what we're going to end up doing with whatever we make is printing it out. And letter, which is the size of a piece of paper that comes out of say, a copy machine. And when you do that, it'll highlight in blue. And then over here on the right, you have some stuff that you can change. We're going to call our first document shapes. I'm going to change my inch pixels to inches just because I understand inches. I don't want to think about pixels. And then orientation right here. This is the other thing we're going to change pretty often. And that just means it's either going to be up, down, portrait orientation, or side to side, landscape orientation. And I want you to choose landscape orientation. And then you're going to hit create. Now, I'm going to open the document our first document that we're going to be doing. And it's just practicing how to make shapes and turn them into objects. So there's only three tools you're going to learn. And it's the shape tool right here. Looks like it says rectangle tool. The selection tool. And notice when I'm hovering, I can see a picture of what things are doing. And then the direct selection tool. So those are the only three tools I want you to worry about. And then there's only one panel I want you to worry about. So here's the tools on the left, and here's the panels on the right. Now, if your toolbox doesn't look like mine, it's because I'm in a special workspace. And I'm going to go to Window, Workspace, and I'm going to click on Essentials Classic. And that's going to show me more stuff than the Essentials window. It's going to be really helpful that you're in this workspace. So first things first, I'm going to come over and notice that if I hover, it tells me what panel I'm on, and you can click and see what's in there, just tapping on these panels and checking it out. But I want you to keep the swatches panel open. And one thing that you can also do is move it so that it stays open and have it right there whenever you need it. And I just dragged it around by the tab. See how there's a little tab there? All right. So first shape I'm going to make is a rectangle, and the little video shows you how to do that. So if I tap on the rectangle and I come over to the artboard, the white piece of paper, I can drag a shape. And while it's highlighted like this, I can change the color. Now, that's your first shape you made in Illustrator, and you're probably wondering like, well, how do I make a circle? Do I have to manipulate the square? No, come on back over. On the left If you right click on a tool, it's going to give you more stuff under there. And there's a ton of stuff in Illustrator. And if I showed it to you all at once, you'd probably have your brain filled up and go, whoa, 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 this is just way, holy mackerel, that's too much stuff. So we're just going to take it really slow and make each one of these shapes. And as I'm dragging, I'm noticing, well, it's not, I don't like where this is right here. And so I'm going to go grab the move tool. The black arrow just moves things around on your page. Right click. I can make a star. Go back to the black arrow. I can move the star. I can also grab a corner and shrink or change or scale the star. But for right now, I'm just going to move it around. Now, if you notice, there's no triangle. See that? So I'm going to show you how to make a triangle with the polygon tool. And this is super cool. Oh, I forgot to change the colors. I'll do that after. As you're dragging the polygon, if you don't let go of the mouse and you, oop, I let go, it's not going to work. So I'm going to hit, whoop, cancel, Control Z back, grab the polygon. I'm going, oh, I keep tapping. I'm going to drag, and while I'm dragging, I'm going to hit the down arrow on the keyboard. And notice up arrow, down arrow. And I could do that with the star, but the polygon makes it have less of these things called anchor points. So I always use the polygon tool. And now with the black arrow, I can tap on a shape and change the color super easily. Tap, tap, changing colors. What do I need? Orange? Like orange? Okay. And now the next step is changing the stroke or border color. So if I take one of these shapes and hold the Alt key down, Alt key is right next to the space bar on your keyboard, or if I, whoops, tap, right click, copy, tap, right click, paste, I get another square, and I can turn this one into a diamond, and I can come over to this panel. Notice this panel over here, properties. It changes when I click on the shape. I get this fill and stroke thing. And the stroke is a border. So you can click on this little color box right here, or up here, check it out, there's another spot. And I can change the border color. So let's make this yellow. Now I can't really see it, it's so small. So I'm going to make the point size bigger. You see what I'm doing? And then I'm going to copy and paste again. And based on this series of changes, what I'm going to do is, well, I like to call it making a shape wonky. What I'm going to show you right now is what this white arrow does. And I want you to zoom in by hitting Control plus. Try hitting Control minus. Zoom in a little bit so you can see the little boxes. You have to click on it to see the boxes. I mean, they're not there unless I tap on the shape. And if I tap on one of these boxes, I can drag it and everything else stays. So I can turn this into a crazy shape. Now I have an arrow. That's cool. The other thing I want to show you, I'm going to come down and do it with a different shape. So I'm going to get my circle, copy and paste, or alt drag. I'm going to change the stroke color, get a little thicker, grab the white arrow, tap. I got to tap on a circle. And then you get these handlebars, and these are kind of crazy. And you don't want to go too crazy with these because they can mess up your shape like really quickly. And if you do something you don't like, just Control Z, undo. And then I'm just gonna see what I can make here. And you don't have to make a thing, just figure out how to change these shapes. And so you're going to go along, you're going to change the color and the stroke. You're going to use the white arrow to change the anchor points. And then there's something else I want to show you, and that's this. See this triangle that I rounded out? I want to show you how to, I'm going to go down to the triangle, and I'm going to copy this one. And notice if I click on the white arrow, can you see that there's this anchor point? You can even says anchor on there, and then there's something inside. There's a little circle. It's called a widget. And if I tap on the anchor point, but then I just pull the widget, it turns it into a rounded corner. And if I tap the anchor point again, I can now move the anchor point or the widget. But I got tap, drag, tap, drag. Okay. So it's a little bit of a something that you want to just practice. And that's why we're doing it over and over a little bit. Because if you only did something once, it would be really hard to remember. And then we're going to do something called, we're going to use something called the Pathfinder panel. Now look at these shapes. They're kind of like, they're changed, but they're very geometric. And so I'm going to minus out of here. I'm going to grab the polygon. I'm calling this a polygon because I don't know what a wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-sided shape is called a polygon, right? A sixagon. So you'll repeat these going down. What you're going to do is end up with a copy of this looking similar to this. Okay, I know it's not very exciting, but it's going to really set you up for what we're going to be doing. Okay, it's just basic, basic, basic. Now for this one, what I want you to do is I'm going to change the stroke to, oops, that's the fill. What did I do that for? I'm going to come over here. I'm going to keep that color. And I'm going to change the stroke to nothing. That means nothing. So notice there's no stroke or border around that. And I'm going to copy this. Copy, paste. And now I have two. And I'm going to line them up on top of each other somehow. I'll zoom in so you can see this. And using this black arrow, I'm going to click I'm going to click and drag. Notice that I have overlapped shapes. And then look over here under properties, push one of these buttons and see what happens. So this one is just going to make one shape out of two. This one's going to pop through from the front. And then it gets cool because then you can have an intersect. Here, watch. Well, that wasn't very fun. Let's try the intersect that takes out the middle. Oh, that's pretty cool. So what it does is it pops through where the intersect is happening. So I want you to try that with a couple of shapes. Let's try the star. Remember, I have to copy and have more than one shape. So then what I can do is once I get them both, I have to have two shapes selected. I gotta click and drag, and then I can try minus front. Oh, that's super cool. So what I want you to go down and try out different shapes, and use the Pathfinder to make different, um, I don't know, examples of shapes. Like this is still a shape, but it's totally different. This one has a hole punched through. This one looks like a moon, but I made it out of two circles. This one I copied the star a whole bunch of times and then punched it through with the Pathfinder. And then your goal is to make this guy. So notice how many circles I used, squares or rectangles. I made the arms out of rectangles. I made the scarf out of a rectangle. I used the star to make the snowflakes, triangle to make the nose, and just do your best. Your final step is going to make your very own monster with body, face, with a mouth, scary or not scary, ears, arms, feet, and some kind of something that adds interest, like a hat, a scarf, a monocle, a pair of glasses, earrings, whatever you want. And then we're going to be building monsters on our own. All right. I will see you next time.